This video has been brought to you by Oodalon, a booking platform for creators, models, artists, and influencers. If you want your video to be featured here, go hit the top link in the description. But let's get right into the video. King Von started his rap career shortly after being released from Cook County Jail, where he did a 3.5-year sentence. He was trying to turn his life around and started rapping as a way to get quick, easy money, and it worked out. Within a year of him rapping, he made millions of dollars, signing to Lil Durk's OTF label and being under his wing. He moved out to Atlanta with Lil Durk to stay out the streets, and we would see him tag along to Durk's interviews, like this one with The Breakfast Club.
Oh, Block, that's what 6ix9ine posted up at.
Nah.
That's not this place?
You know,
What's your story?
my story shit. I just got out of jail for just beat a body in 2 attempts, like, what, December?
So you was in jail for 2 murders?
Yeah, 1 murder and 2 attempts. I just beat.
How you beat that?
We gonna get into exactly how he beat this, but King Von had a history before that big charge, with him being in jail for the majority of his high school life.
Damn, that was my whole life, shit. My whole teenage years, since I was 16. I was only out for my 18th birthday. And that's it. And then I just got out for my 24th birthday.
It started at 16, with Von being charged with armed robbery and carjacking, and him getting booked for 15 months. Then after this, getting booked again for 14 months for possession of a firearm.
They locked me up for a robbery, armed robbery and armed carjacking. They said I robbed somebody to their car. They dropped the charge. They dropped most of them and let me go for boot camp. I was too young.
But in this video, we're gonna focus on his 2014 case because that was his most serious one, and because we can't really find information on his other arrests since he was a minor. But before we get into this video, I gotta thank y'all for 10K subs. 10K off 10 videos is crazy growth. And if you haven't already, make sure you hit that sub button so you can say you was here before I blew up. And while you're there, make sure you follow my Instagram to keep up to date with breaking hip hop news. But focusing back on King Von's 2014 charge, this is what prosecutors allege happened. King Von, aka Davon Daquan Bennett, arrives to a birthday party in Inglewood, which is in the south side of Chicago. An unidentified witness said she saw King Von with a black handgun in his pocket, who was quote unquote very recognizable to people at the party as a member of the Black Disciple Street Gang. And ops were at the party steady eyeballing Von. And this is where King Von proceeds to leave the party in a gray vehicle and get his homie Big Mike, then pulls back up about 45 minutes later, parked in the alley, and they go to confront the people who had been steady eyeballing him. They crept around to the front of the house and completely shut the party down. The people who had been eyeballing him were on the porch, and this is where King Von and Big Mike opened fire, shooting one, and the 2 people with him tried to run but ended up getting shot too, with police finding over 20 shell cases at the scene. And Von and Mike hopped in the car and took off, leaving 2 people hospitalized and 1 person dead. After this, police were gathering evidence and looking for suspects. Then a month and a half later, they brought Big Mike into Cook County Jail, charging him with 1st-degree murder, 2 counts of attempted murder, and the judge ordered him to be held without bail. Then 2 days later, they brought King Von in under the same charges and refused to give him a plea, trying to slap as much time on him as possible.
Did they ever offer you a plea deal?
Oh, hell. They got a gun enhancement law. So the murder, say they want 20 years for the murder. Say I get found good, they give me 20 years for the murder. Plus the gun enhancement law, that's 21 years. So that's 41 years, that's just for the murder. And I got 2 attempt murders. So they give me 21 years, 85 for 1 attempts in out of it. And that's a lot of fucking years.
And this is where King Von was in that interrogation room not saying a word. But in Big Mike's room, it was a different story. And he told police that he went to the party to act as muscle for his friend, who was gonna confront the guy who was steady eyeballing him. And he also admitted to firing a gun 15 or 16 times at one of the victims. And King Von even references this in the song saying, he's referring to Big Mike's younger brother Wooski, who was one of King Von's most hated ops to this day, with him clowning him on Instagram all the time. But in that lyric, he was talking about a shooting that happened at a funeral and left Big Mike's brother shot in the head. But that's besides the point of this video. King Von was in that interrogation room staying silent, and Big Mike was set to cooperate against Von. But there were some complications with this case that made it take over 3.5 years before even going to trial. The police were struggling to find evidence. There weren't any security cameras, and they couldn't even find the murder weapon until a year later. And by then, any type of DNA linking it to Von was long gone, and they had trouble finding witnesses. People who were at the party knew what happened to snitches, and King Von even talks about this in the song saying, "Bitch was the only one that told they killed the other witness." Hold up. Did that nigga just admit to killing witnesses on a song about how he beat his murder charge?
You're about to experience a nigga moment.
Bitch was the only one that told they killed the other witness. If y'all enjoying the video so far, drop a like. But this nigga lawyer must have been scrambling. King Von is a different type of nigga. And while King Von was in prison waiting for his trial to start, he got into over 20 fights. And according to him, never lost one.
Man, been locked up all these years. I know they had some fights in that bitch. Like,
I want all of them.
So you want all of them?
Yeah, for sure.
You
I got jumped once, but that don't count.
And the cause of these fights ranged from people being his ops on the street to him just bullying niggas.
Yeah, mostly world shit. Just sometimes motherfuckers just on the phone too long, or I'm just mad one day my bitch cheating on me, I had to beat him up.
But King Von is currently a free man. So what exactly happened in that courtroom? Well, after Von spent 3.5 years in prison, that trial only lasted 5 days, with people King Von allegedly shot even taking a stand.
So I had people come like, yeah, he shot me and shit. But people come like, yeah, he killed me. So it's looking ugly from the go. Like when somebody come and say, stand up and say, he just shot me,
But King Von had tens of thousands of dollars of resources being poured into this case by Lil Durk. He had the best lawyer and the prosecution was scrambling. The murder weapon was extremely hard to pin on Von, and witnesses were even scared to pin King Von at the scene of the crime. And in a shocking turn, Big Mike refused to cooperate at the last minute. So the statement he wrote wasn't even introduced to the jury. And that last minute change of heart made the judge hit Mike with a 28-year sentence. 16 of those because he already admitted to firing shots, and the extra 12 being paid back for refusing to testify.
But I ain't tell nobody that I don't condone the snitch. A nigga told on me before he got a longer sentence. I think they gave him 28, he'd rather talk than listen.
And King Von walked away with the biggest finesse of all time and was released from jail a few hours after this. I thought no snitching was for loyalty. I would have never thought refusing to talk to the police would actually help your case. Even the nigga that sold the gun used in the shooting got more time than King Von did. They found out he smuggled about 25 guns, and that same gun King Von allegedly used was linked to another shooting just days later. They even linked one of his guns back to Lil Reese and hit him with a 5.5-year sentence. Right after King Von got released, he went down to O Block, and O Block was celebrating, like how niggas celebrated when they let OJ Simpson off. It's a different type of celebration when you see a nigga slip through the cracks. When you know a nigga did some shit and he got away with it. And after linking up with everybody, King Von did this.
So when you first came home after doing all this time, what's the first thing you did?
I got a punch on me. Test me before they go kill me.
So I think I got
First
a
they
gun.
go kill me.
It was, and this shit for real. Everybody else, they gonna get some food, some pussy. You want to go get a gun.
I couldn't be caught like that.
But after beating the case, King Von was ready to quit the street life and pursue his music career. But not everybody was happy about this, with the man who died sister even coming out on Instagram saying, so this guy kills my brother and becomes a rapper? She calls him a clown and says she'll never ever listen to his song or any Lil Durk songs. But this didn't stop King Von, who had the perfect turn of events. After being found not guilty, he moved out to Atlanta with Lil Durk and started working on his music career. But King Von getting all this money didn't stop him from catching cases. And June 14th, 2019, King Von and Lil Durk were indicted on 5 felony charges: criminal attempt to commit murder, aggravated assault, possession of a firearm during commission of a felony, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon, and gang charges, with them allegedly shooting a man and stealing $30,000 in cash off of him. And they're currently out on bail for that case. So let me know in the comments below if you want me to break that whole thing down. But if you like this video, make sure you smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, and follow my Instagram to keep up to date with breaking hip hop news. Also, make sure y'all don't forget to check me out over on Udalon. But that's it for this video. I'm Mo Slides and I'm out.